Welcome back. This is MDawg, and we are going to go up to 75 and see if we can catch, I don't know, a little bit different than your average fish. A little bit bigger fish, maybe we're going to use a little larger setup. I don't know, just see if we can get lucky. If it's too terribly slow, maybe we'll relocate. But you hang in there. We'll be right back. All right, here we go. We are going to fish here on the 75. I think in general we want to be on or to the left of the number on this bank. This is one of the deeper banks. I think anything deeper than 75, it gets weird to call it a bank. Maybe even here it gets a little weird, but so this is where we're going to fish. A little bit of a dreary day. Overcast with showers, a little low temperature. We'll see how all that adds up to impact the fishing. I think I just want to go ahead and stop here for now. And let's see what we're fishing with. So if you've been following the reports on the last couple days here, this is not an uncommon setup that people have been using. So the 800 pilker, the orange fire stick, real squid, and then as what is pretty typical when you're going for larger fish, we're using 8/0 hooks with the 23 series of squids. In this case, we're using the fluorescent, the blue, and the purple. So let's go ahead and get it down there. We're just going to do some, let it sit on the bottom some. We'll do some light peeling, some strong peeling. Unfortunately, when you're going for bigger fish like this, you often get much smaller bite rates, but kind of like rolling the dice, a little RNG comes into play. You have a chance of getting bigger / better, more valuable fish when you do catch one. So I will try to, unless it takes a really long time, I will try to stay with you here until we get the first fish on the line and in the boat. But after that, I will probably just unpause the video when we have a fish get on. So I just kind of wanted to show you this first cast, what I'm doing, but then past this, we'll make this a little shorter video, but a little more action-packed by not making you watch the whole process as I wait to get a bite. So let's just let it sit there for a minute, make sure the gear ratio and everything else is good. And now let's just start doing some light perking. And it's 8 in the morning on a rainy, cool day here on the Norwegian Sea. Very overcast, but you can see some blue patches. Maybe we'll see some partial cloudy at times at least. There we go, first fish on. So I got you through the first fish at least. And like I said, for some of the longer bites, which especially when we get to afternoon, I would just imagine that it might take a little while to get a fish on. But maybe I'll be surprised and it will be a better bite rate than I'm thinking. And if that's the case, then I won't have to pause the recording as much. This is coming straight in, so this seems to be, even though this is a very heavy setup we're using, this does seem to be a very small fish. Just coming straight into the, straight up here. All right, there's a wolffish. That's a good start. We'd love to see some wolffish mixed in here. All right, so again, when I do unpause it. Once there's a bite, I'll try to give you a quick explanation of where the bite happened or what I was doing when the bite happened, but I am going to pause some. All right, so we got this bite. Once again, light peeling, light perking on the bottom. Nothing happened on the drop. Nothing happened when I let it sit down there. But basically the exact same as last time. Fairly quick bite after just light peeling at the bottom. And once we get it in and recast, we'll check, see where we are on the map. I don't think we've drifted far, but we'll just try to get in the habit of double checking since it does take a few minutes to get the fish on. All right, a little cusk, 6.7 kilo cusk. And there we are. So we have drifted a little northwest for what it's worth. 2301, Pilker 800. And that catches you up. All right, here we go. Same thing, light peeling. The only difference is this fish is a little bit bigger. Unfortunately, this is the size fish that makes me nervous, as if it's gonna pop off. Now I could lock it up and just like pull it against its will, use my mech weight in the reel to just overpower it. However, I actually like when we can hear that it's pulling. That means it's fighting against us. And in my experience, it's better not to pull against it super aggressively when that is happening. So I'm going to try to play this a little safer. It's always an interesting discussion on, would I rather reel it in as fast as possible, minimizing the time that the fish is in the water. So minimizing the time that the fish has a chance to give me a FGA, fish got away. Or would I rather play as conservatively as possible with the fish, decrease the chances of getting an FGA in general, but allow the fish to stay in the water longer? And as you can see, I tend towards option B. But either direction, either option, you still have that shot, that chance that you'll get it in, or that at some point, again, random number generator, RNG, something will happen and the fish will just pop off. Now there are things like, let's say we're using a hook that's got a little wear on it, or we're using a cheaper hook than we have to, or something like that. I mean, there's things you can do to increase the number, the percentage that could happen, but no matter how prepared you are or how smart it seems like you're being in your approach, just remember, there's always that chance that it could happen. I'm not even shift reeling much on this fish, which, again, very unusual for me. Okay, we actually lost some tension there, so that's also a way that you can, not guarantee, but increase your chance of something really bad happening. I think this is going to be a decent fish, and I think the way it's kind of been all over the place, I don't know. I have no idea what species it is, actually. it's a very chill fish. It's definitely not like a shark or something exotic like that, but it also may not be the fish that we don't speak of. You'll notice that our energy hasn't really gone down much, so if at all. So it's not that heavy, but it's got way more strength than the last couple fish we've caught, right? All right, we should be able to start seeing it in the water here, so I'll allow us to peek down. And oh, you love to see that, don't you? Yes. Look at that happy hour fish, by the way. 277,000 XP. And that is a weekly record European angler. All right, here we are, right on the edge, northwest 75, and it came in on the pilker. So this pilker doing pretty well. 2 out of the 3 fish so far caught on the pilker. Gotta love it. Thanks so much, Dink King. I appreciate it. Welcome to RF4. Hope you're having a good time. All right, man, that is a way to get our fishing trip started here. All right, and we're right back. I mean, no time at all. The lure did get down to the bottom, but as soon as I started doing pilker motion, we got another hit. This time it is a much smaller fish though, so probably back to a wolffish is my best guess. We'll see though. That was a surprise angler, and no matter what happens from here to the rest of our fishing trip, that's a nice fish. I think I was right. And it's a spotted. There's another 72,000 XP. Come on. Man. Something else. Okay. Yeah, so far, almost immediate. The only thing I'm saving you from is the amount of time it takes for the lure to drop to the bottom. Other than that, like, we're getting a very nice, quick bite. So this seems to be a little bigger than the first 2 fish. Obviously nowhere near the size of the angler, but a little bigger than I first realized. Another cusk, 4.8. Actually a little smaller than I probably would have guessed. smaller actually than the second fish we caught. A little bit larger than the wolffish, but different species. Yeah, kind of surprising. All right, watch out. This just hit on the drop, which is always exciting. I mean, it could just be a saithe or something, or, you know, whatever, but whenever something hits you on the drop and you're using a pretty big setup like this, you're always hoping like, oh, maybe this is a tuna, a swordfish, shark of some sort at least. I don't think that's what we have here, although it is a decent little fish. Unfortunately, if it's tuna or sword, it's just so small. So I don't even know that's what we want at this point, but... Oh, it is a tuna. So 42K. Now that's only 18 kilos. I think I've caught a larger tuna before. But I wouldn't even swear to it. I have not caught a lot of tuna in my day. That is a good sign, though. Atlantic bluefin tuna. Yeah, we've caught a slightly bigger one. And let's see what this one was on. The 04 squid. Man, what a trip we're having right now. All right, another fish here. Seems to me to be a pretty small fish, but we'll see. All right, let's see what we've got here. Appears to be a cusk. We are hitting a lot of cusk in that like smaller range. But I mean, with as good a fish as we've been catching, I don't mind some cusk. On the drop again, but this actually, this might be a whiting. This is so small. It is a whiting. Okay. All right, so we caught this fish on the bottom, but I did not force you to watch the reeling end of this fish because it's another small cusk, and I had a feeling. So we just sort of passed right over that. Now we've definitely drifted. We're down in the central area of 75. And it's certainly a different time of day. When this fishing trip started, it was morning, and now we're in the late afternoon, early evening time. But I'm telling you, the bite rate has been off the chart. The only reason why we're not catching more fish, of course, is the amount of time it takes to let the lure drop to the bottom, and then how long it takes to get the fish back up. But in terms of time, once it is at the bottom, waiting for a fish to come and hook, that's taking usually seconds, at the most a minute or so. And once again, this time I'm going to make you watch it, but another pretty small fish, but another pretty quick bite rate. We did not have to wait long on this one either. So Royal just caught a really nice wolffish. There's another wolffish, small fella though. All right, quick bite, and oh, this is a decent fish again. A little larger. Let's see what we've got here. Uh-oh. It's a fella. This is a fella. Yeah, this will be interesting trying to pull this fella in. Congrats to Fishing Domba on reaching level 37. All right, I don't mind locking it up like that to stop the run. At least for now, same thing. We're not going to overpower it. We're not going to just lock it up and force it in. Now, if it gets away on me, I'll regret that, but I suspect he doesn't have too many runs in him. And if he runs again, I will be quicker this time to pull it. I don't think that's what I meant to drink. Just so you know. Ooh, Argentus. Nice European place. It's just annoying enough to want to lock it up, isn't it? Yeah, we've got a real deal shark or something on here. And if I didn't have it locked up right now, he would most certainly be running on us. For better or for worse, I'm not trying to reel. I'm not trying to pull against him. I'm letting him just hopefully wear himself out here. But as soon as he starts giving us some slack back, I will start reeling because we don't want there to be a loss of tension at all. That's when he'll pop off. Arguably, he's popping off right now, but you know what I mean. So this is where we're putting full pressure on the mech of our reel, the mechanism. Where before, when he was sort of every once in a while, like just slightly pulling line out, but mostly letting us do our thing, that might have been slowly doing a little bit of, holy cow, slowly doing a little bit of damage to our friction brake. But friction brakes are much cheaper things to replace than mechanisms are to repair. Yeah, this guy, this is an adventure. We're 60 meters out. I mean, we've hardly made any progress, and this is simply an adventure. All right, I'm gonna pull it down. Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm telling you, that is a lot of force. When we're running 205, that is a lot of force, a lot of pressure we're putting on this reel. I'm really, I don't know why. I just don't want to see it like blow up. I don't want to see it all just disintegrate in our hands. I can't believe the force that this fish is occasionally putting on us. And you know, it's not just the weight of the fish, because typically it's a lot less force than this. But when it starts pulling, oh my goodness. Oh, come on. Why can't I? Are you kidding me? That was so risky. But I forgot how the menu worked. I couldn't get it to scroll down. Well, I couldn't scroll while I was holding on to it. So user error 100%. That's a lot. That is a lot. Just trying to figure out, what do we want to... I just want to try to get some more energy back. I'm gonna have to let him run. It's so risky for him to have that much pressure on here. Oh, gosh. Thankfully he gave out when he did. I also, part of me just wants to kind of hang on for a minute and get some energy back. I have a feeling he wouldn't be quite as strong if we had, you know, a reasonable amount of energy. But at this point, we may not be able to get energy back. I mean, we may be just using too much energy. That sucker, that energy is falling so fast. We're about to be in the red no matter what I do, I think. Oh, just chill. Just chill. Well, the moon is pretty. Keeping our rod as high up in the air as we can. To be fair, he has been on for a while now. Not that that means nothing bad could happen, but a lot of times the bad stuff happens early in the fight. All right, there we go. We're back at green energy. And he's back at a more manageable... He is now 35 meters away from the boat. He's less than halfway away. I mean, we've got him more than halfway brought in now. Not that he won't go for another run, but at this moment, at this very moment, he's chilling a bit. Oh, never mind. I think, I mean, and I'm going to probably do this after I, upload the video. I want to go back and see how different this fish seemed in the very early moments of this encounter. It went for that one run, but besides that, it was allowing us to keep our friction brake open on 28, 29. It might occasionally pull a little bit of line, but it wasn't like ever since, I don't know, 10 minutes into the fight, it just got nasty. All right, so we can be pretty certain this is not a swordfish. This is not a tuna. We caught this at the very bottom. So that decreases the odds of it being one of those really nice fish that kind of tend to hit on the drop, right? So we caught this down at 75 meters, light perking at the bottom. It could be a shark, though. It has certainly fought like a shark. But it could be any number of things. And there's been just such a variety of fish caught at 75 lately that I have no idea. I mean, my first thought when I kind of saw what was going on was like, okay, we've got a nice shark on. At this point, I'm just realizing it could be any number of things. I don't think it's a 20 kilo cusk, though. I will tell you that. If it's a 20 kilo cusk, I will be very surprised. If a trophy cusk is doing this to my rig, then I might have to go talk to the shop owner and say, hey, I think there's something wrong with this kit. I think you sold me a false dream and a bag of overpriced goods. So we're now at 15 meters. And he is still, this is going to be one of those, like, even when we get him up, he's going to be like shaking his head, like growling at me. Nothing calm about this cucumber. Look at that pull. All right. Once he has worn himself down a little bit, look how much strength he has. We're in the red for the first time. Okay, we can start beginning to glance down. We should be able to start seeing, well, he's actually right below us. He's actually almost under the boat. I don't want to look down too much. No way this is a flatfish. Okay, be honest, chat. Did anybody think, oh, this is a flatfish? As you were watching this epic struggle? I mean, it's a decent one, but still. A flatfish fighting like that? Oh, man. Wait, is that the largest? Is that a PB, though? 75. No, it's not. We had a 94.5 kilo. It also appears to not be a weekly. I think we also just started a new happy hour, which is not weird at all. I was not expecting that. I don't, it's fine. Like when they're that size, like, it's fine. It's worth some silver. But man, I was not expecting that. All right. Looks like we got another fairly small fish off the bottom here. Although it's not as small as some. We found another cusk. What do you know? We're still in an acceptable location. The natural squid 2301 on the halibut and the 07 on the cusk. Caught something very small here on the drop. Another whiting, even a non-marker whiting, which is always amazing when that happens. When you've got such big stuff on, although these whiting will bite anything no matter what size they are. Natural squid 2304, and this most recent one was on the pilker. Technically, this was on the drop, but I will tell you that it was on the drop in the bottom layer. In other words, I had not closed the bail yet, but it was in the bottom layer technically, so we shall see. It doesn't seem like it's too big, but it is interesting that this is the first time I've caught something at the bottom without it sitting down there at least a few seconds and starting a pilker motion. Hey, it's another nice wolffish, 51K. We've definitely been just rolling in the XP out here. Hopefully gets decent silver as well. Same thing. I guess it's like early morning. What was the last fish we caught? Wolffish. But this is just so much smaller. But same thing, hit it on the drop still, but in the bottom layer. I guess that's twice in a row. Alright, there's another little wolffish. We don't mind seeing that. And there we go. Alright, so this is back to what has been our typical experience. Get the lure to the bottom, do some perking, and catch a fish within a minute or two. This was pretty standard, which means it might just be another cusk, but we shall see. And we're sitting at 56 minutes, so yeah, I think we'll probably let this be our last fish. I mean, this has been an incredible hour of fishing. At least it's been a lot of fun. We've kind of had a little bit of everything. some rare, more rare fish with the spotted wolffish, the really large halibut, and just sort of a mix of other stuff too. So this has been fun, but the real question is, do we get rewarded for our fun? Actually, that looks like a safe. Yeah, it was a small safe. Well, there you go. Let's look at our setup one last time, just in case I forget once we're back at shore. So we are using oversized line, even bigger than I typically use. We've got this Pilker Fire Orange Real Squid 2607 large fillet. 8.0 hooks on all three of the drops with the Natural Squid 01, 04, and 07. That's what we're using. All right, I'll be right back. Okay. Nice Greenland shark there. $222 silver for that cafe order? Okay. Well, that's great. So without the cafe, 1,164 silver. Look at this 271 on the halibut, but again, not even near. I knew when we caught that angler, this was going to be a good session no matter what. And look at that tuna. And a decent amount on the spotted. I mean, that's amazing. Plus, we're going to get 222. So instead of, how much would it have been for the 8? 66. So instead of 66, we're getting 222. We'll still get another pretty much 1,100. So 1,300. Not a bad hour. By the way, not a bad hour at all. Okay. Hey, as always, thanks for watching Tight Lines. Let me know how you're doing in RF4. Any spicy catches lately, or just the fun you're having. But as always, thanks for watching. I will see you next time.